go for it. I'm going to go for it, and we're going to have this conversation. So first of all, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Why am I thanking you all? I am thanking you all for all of your support. I cannot express to you how much it means to me to get your DMs, to get your WhatsApp text, to get your SMS text, to get your emails, to see your comments here on LinkedIn, to get your comments on YouTube as well. I am so grateful for you. And I really appreciate you all sharing your feedback around how these LinkedIn Lives have been supportive of you, how Core for Coaches has been supportive of you. Please keep them coming, not just because I love words of affirmation. That is one of my highest love languages, but also I want to make sure that if I am coming here and I'm coming here to offer something to you coaches, you leaders, you coaches who lead, you leaders who coach, I want to make sure that it's valuable, because I'm not interested in wasting my time or yours. Okay. So what I've been hearing nonstop is that you really do see this as valuable, that some of the conversations that we have and some of the topics that I've been presenting to you all has caused you to pause and think and reflect. So that's music to my ears. So long as it's supportive of you, I will keep coming back. How about that? I'll keep coming back. So thank you again. Thank you so much. You are here for Core for Coaches. I love me an acronym. So why did I use the acronym CORE? Because I say it stands for Collaborative Opportunities Rising for Everyone. And we know rising is said like that in ASL. So thank you for being here. I am Sophia Casey. I am a what? Master certified coach. I slow down on purpose when I say master certified coach, because I am unapologetic about how proud I am to be an ICF Master Certified Coach in MCC. It is tough to get to this level. Okay, let me just keep it real. It is tough. It has been tough. It has been challenging. And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful not just for myself to be in MCC, but I'm also grateful because, as I've been told, it really supports a lot of coaches. It supports a lot of coaches to be able to see an MCC, right? I've heard when I posted about getting my MCC going on 4 years ago, what I heard that literally stopped me in my tracks. I was flabbergasted with the number of comments that I got from coaches of color, Black, Indigenous people of color who are coaches, who said, Coach Sophia, I didn't even know there were Black MCCs. I didn't even know that there were Black, Indigenous people of color who are credentialed coaches. And I'm like, what? Yes, there are a whole bunch of us. And that really just inspired me to continue to support coaches all around the globe with not just becoming certified coaches, which is a huge milestone, but going on even further and becoming credential coaches and pursuing their associate, professional, and master certified coach credentials. So I just want to say again, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be able to do this work. I'm grateful to be able to live a purpose-driven career and life. And I'm extra, extra, extra grateful that I get to do what I love. Hello, are you doing what you love? You don't have to answer that. Well, you can answer me privately. You can send me a DM. Are you doing what you love? I really want to encourage everyone to do what they love. Do what you love. So today, I am going to continue our conversation around the core competencies. All right. So I think today we are focused on maintains presence. Maintains presence. Anybody know what core competency number that is? Oh, Malik, you gave them the answer. That's okay. So we're going to focus on core competency number 5, maintains presence. If you didn't have a chance to catch my previous Core for Coaches LinkedIn Lives. They are still up here on this platform. Eventually, we will pull them down, and then that's okay. You'll still be able to get to them because they'll be on our YouTube page. So, okay, core competency number 5, maintains presence. Before I get into this conversation, I would love to hear from you. What does presence mean to you? I literally just got out of a mentor coaching session, and earlier I had a coaching supervision session with some coaches, and we were talking about presence. What does presence mean to you? Because I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume. So if you will, put that in the chat. What does presence mean to you? When I asked that question in our coach training program at ICLI Rising, yes, when I asked the coaches, the coaching students, what does presence mean to you? Typically what I hear is, presence means being right here, being present in the conversation. Sometimes I also hear, presence means that I'm not on my phone when I'm coaching. You're not doing that right, okay? Presence means as a leader, I'm not distracted when my team member comes into my office to have a conversation with me. Presence means that I'm right here. And I'll say, yes, absolutely. Presence means all of those things. But it's a little, no, not a little, it's a lot deeper than that in terms of our coaching work, okay? As defined by the International Coaching Federation, presence means a lot more. So let me just check in on the chat really quickly, and then I want to offer you all some things to consider around presence to make your coaching stronger, your coaching businesses stronger, to make those conversations that you have with potential clients stronger and better, to help you be a stronger leader in your organization. So I'm going to offer you all something in just a moment. I'm going to check in first. Hello, Coach Josh is here. I'm always excited to see all these coaches. A little extra excited about that coach because I happen to know him. He is my relative. So hi, Coach Josh. Coach Josh says, presence means a zone of passive awareness. That you are in a zone of passive awareness. Thank you for offering that. Coach Femi, my wonderful colleague, says coaching presence means body, mind, soul attention, being with the client and having that body, mind, soul attention be 100%. Okay, I'm loving these definitions. I'm still checking in. If you haven't had an opportunity yet, please pop in the comments there your definition of presence. So yes, I would agree with Coach Josh. I agree with Coach Femi. It is all of that. And I want to offer you some things to consider, okay? So coaching presence, again, core competency number 5. And as you know, the ICF did make some changes. There were some shifts around the core competencies and then launched the new updated 2025 ICF core competencies. And so when I have these conversations with you here, when I come here on LinkedIn Live, I am coming here from the lens of the 2025 ICF core competencies, okay? So today what we're going to talk about is about presence, not perfection. I did not say perfection. That is another P word. But what did I say? Presence. So we're going to talk about presence, not perfection, not polished. There's another P word, not being polished, right? But it really is about staying with your client, staying connected with your client, being all the way in the room with this other human being, and not just physically. I love that Coach Femi said body, mind, and soul. Yes. I love that Coach Josh said being attentive. And it's not just physically being attentive, but being attentive with your whole being. Notice I keep saying being, B-E-I-N-G. Would somebody put that in the chat for me? Being. It is about how are you showing up? What is your being as you are in this conversation with this other person? Whether you're a leader and you're talking to one of your team members or your peers, or you're actually managing up, okay? What does it mean to have a being of presence? All right. I'm curious also, would love to ask you all, when do you feel you are your most present self? Is it in a conversation? Is it at work? Is it when you're coaching? I'm just curious. Oh, I'm also nosy. Okay. So I just want to know that from you. When do you feel you're most present? So if you drop that in the chat for me, that'd be great. I'll come back and check the chat a little bit later to see what you said. So what is presence and what presence is not is what we're going to talk about today. So there are some common misconceptions around presence. There are some common misconceptions around presence, and I want to share a few. So typically, as I said before, when I ask our coach training students in our coaching program what is presence, many of them say it's paying attention. Yeah, it certainly is that. I also hear coaches say that presence is saying the right thing. And when I ask leaders, I work with a lot of leaders, do a lot of team coaching. Yes, love team coaching. Sometimes I hear from them when I ask what is presence or are you being present? What I hear is, yes, I'm being present. I'm saying the right thing, right? I'm being here. I'm in the conversation. I'm being clear. I'm being attentive. And I want to offer you a shift, a reframe, if you will. What is presence? Presence is not performance. There's another P word. What's up with all these P words? Presence is not performance. Will somebody please put that in the comments for me? Presence is not performance. Presence means availability. Okay? Presence is not performance, it's availability. It means that, yeah, I'm physically here. It also means that I am paying attention to my emotions, right? I'm regulating my emotions. I'm not putting my own stuff, my own emotions, my stuff into the space. I am honoring that space as theirs. And this can apply to any conversation that you're having. So many moons ago, my son, then a teenager, I want to say he was probably about 16. He comes to me and he says, "Oh, Mom, I have something to tell you. I want to tell you this fun story or something that happened to me." I'm like, "Okay, great." So he starts to share his story, what he wanted to share with me, right? And then at some point he stops talking. And I'm like, wait, what happened? Why'd you stop talking? What happened? Why'd you stop talking? And he says, because you're not paying attention. I can wait. Now, those of you who are parents, if you're a parent out there, just write the word parent, because I know you can relate to this. So those of you who are parents, you can imagine, I'm sure, what that did for me. That was a blow. Again, he said, hey, he was all excited. "Mom, I want to tell you this story. I want to tell you about what happened to me at school and what I did, blah, 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 blah." And I say, okay. And I'm ready for the story. So I thought. And he starts telling a little bit of the story and then he stops. And the room goes silent. What was he pointing to? What he was pointing to is that although I may have been physically present, right? I was physically there. My body was there. I was sitting on the couch. Although I was physically present, I was not available. Ooh, I just thought about this. This could apply to some romantic relationships too. Thank you for that divine download. Although I was physically there, I was not available. And I'm telling you, that moment gave me so much and really strengthened my coaching skills. Because then when I asked, I'm like, "Well, why are you quiet? Why'd you stop the story?" He said, Well, because you're not really present. I can wait. No, I don't want you to have to wait. No, I am. I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention. And he was like, but mom, no, you're not, because you have your phone in your hand. Okay, come on, parents, talk to me, talk to me. I know I'm not alone. You can only imagine. Yes, Beryl, you can only imagine what that did for me as a parent. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm so grateful that he called me out that day. I am so grateful. And he was right. I was present physically, but I was not paying full attention. I was not fully available. And what I want to offer to you is I want you from now until we are back together again next week. So between now and next Tuesday, when we're back together again, I am going to challenge you to do something. I want to challenge you to notice your presence, to just notice. I'm not asking you to fix something. I'm not asking you to go read a book about presence. I'm not asking you to do anything other than notice. I want you to notice your presence. And I want you to share with me what you noticed about your presence. Were you present? Were you available? Was maybe there's some sprinkles of performance, like where you are performing as if you are present? What do you notice about your presence in all of your conversations between now and the time we're back together? So again, presence is emotional regulation. Presence is also being open to uncertainty. I get such a kick out of this when I say this in our coach training program. So as you all know, we are a level 1, level 2, and I can now say level 3 ICF accredited coach training school. And I can say level 3, and I'll share more about that a little later because we are actually in collaboration with another school around a level 3 program. So, you know, we are an ICF accredited coach training school. I love in our classroom when I say to the coaching students, I will ask them, and some of our graduates are on here, they can tell you, I will ask them, tell me about, your accolades. Everybody put in the chat all of your accolades, like those letters after your name, like mine here is MCC. So you can imagine the chat, the comments on Zoom gets filled, right? Oh, I'm an ACC, or I'm a PhD and EDD and ABCDEFG. Okay, so they put all of those accolades, all of those designations. I know you all have a lot of them as well. Put them in the Zoom chat. And then what I offer them is this. You know nothing. Will somebody please put that in the chat for me? You know nothing. And you can imagine me saying that, the faces that I get on the other side of that Zoom screen is, what? What do you mean I know nothing? Have you seen all these designations, degrees, accolades after my name? Have you seen the chat, Coach Sophia? What do you mean I know nothing? I do. I know a whole lot. I've been through coach training before. I've taken this class. I'm a Gallup Strengths coach. I'm a positive intelligence coach. I do this. I know the Enneagram. And hey, I hear you. And yet you know nothing. Whew. What am I pointing to when I offer that to coaches? What I'm doing is I'm inviting them to consider that even with all of their knowledge, even with all of their brilliance, even with all of those designations and degrees and certificates and certifications, with all of that, when they enter into the coaching room, and I'll speak to leaders, as your team member comes into your office to have a conversation with you, at that moment, you are in the unknown. At that moment, you know nothing. The only thing you know is what that other human being tells you. What they tell you with their words, with their mouth, with their talking, their speaking, what they tell you with their body language, what they tell you with that energy that they bring into that space. And everything else is a suspicion. So what you think you know about them before they tell you, I say, is your intuition. So your intuition may be giving you some divine downloads. Oh, I believe this is what's happening with Coach Josh. Oh, I believe this is what's happening. This is what Amarachi is feeling. So I'm not saying to ignore your intuition. Intuition is a powerful tool, and we talk about that a lot in our programs. What I am inviting you all to consider, coach leaders and leader coaches, is that when a person comes into your space, when you join someone in their space, right? Because that's what we're doing. We're joining the coachee or the client or the team member. We're really joining their space. You know nothing. I hope that it inspires you to get curious. Will somebody please put curiosity in the comments? I am inviting you, I am challenging you to be more curious about who they are. That's why I said earlier, this can help with some romantic relationships too. I'm just saying, I know your spouses will thank me later. Yes, you know them. You've been with them forever. But imagine just playing this game of being in the unknown, to where when you come together, you know nothing. And that they are going to present to you who they are. Oh my goodness, I hadn't planned on giving you all of this. Let me sit up. This is for you, but it's also for me. If you're getting any value out of this conversation, just put yes in the chat. Put yes, 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 yes. And if you're not, then don't put anything, okay? So I hadn't planned on giving you all of this, but as I start to wrap up, I wanted to make sure that I offered you some nuggets to just chew on. So again, presence is emotional regulation. It is your willingness to be open to uncertainty, your willingness to be in the unknown. I get asked all the time, Coach Sophia, what separates an ACC from a PCC and an MCC and an ABCDEFG? What is the difference between these different ICF credential levels? One of the things I can say across the board that really separates maybe an early coach from a coach who is masterful is their willingness. I told you it's for me too. Their willingness to be in the unknown. Their willingness to not be certain. Their willingness to not know everything. Their willingness to not talk about themselves in that space, but to be curious about the other person. It is the coach's willingness, the leader's willingness to slow down. To slow down. Yes, I'm getting some yeses, yeses, yeses. To slow down and get curious about who they are. I played this game with some of my our newest team members. So we have 2 new team members that just came on board. Hi, Amarachi. Hello, Beryl. Big shout out to our new team members. And in our conversation, I had asked them, I said, hey, do you have a icebreaker or something that we can, participate in right now just to, break the ice before we go into all the doing? total side note, that is a great technique, leaders. Okay, before you start going into all the doing and sharing all the things and all the tasks and all the projects, to just get connected with your team members. So I asked them, and one of the icebreakers that they came up with is Amarachi actually asked us, if you as you look back over your life, what is one thing that you are most grateful for? What is the one thing that you're most grateful for? I tell you, I went into curiosity right then and there. I literally leaned into the camera on the Zoom because I couldn't wait. I was curious. I was excited. I was excited to hear what Amarachi was going to say. I was excited to learn more about Beryl. And yes, of course, I was excited to talk about myself. Hey, one of my favorite topics. Sure, I was excited about that too. But I had this willingness to slow down and get curious. And I'm telling you, in that 15-minute conversation, I learned more about them than I probably would have learned if I were not willing to slow down, if I were not willing to come from a space of curiosity. I'm telling you, the work works. The work works. Curiosity is a superpower. Okay, so I'm going to offer you just a few more things, and then I promise I'm going to wrap up. So as I said before, the 2025 updated core competencies, the ICF did tweak a few things, not necessarily in terms of the core competencies, but mainly in the sub-competencies, if you will. So now with maintains presence, core competency number 5, there is a stronger emphasis on the coach's internal state. Internal state. Malik, if you'll put that somewhere in the comments or up here, internal state. So there's more of an emphasis on what is happening over here. What is happening over here? I just had the wonderful blessing to mentor a coach who was actually coaching supervision as well, but to support the coach around them supporting their client. I'll say that as much as I can share. And what happened in the conversation, or what came up in the conversation, is that I invited the coach to take a look over here. I invited the coach to put more emphasis and more attention and more presence, if you will, around what is happening with them as they are coaching. I know I'm talking about a higher level of coaching, but I have it that you can take it and you want it. I invited the coach to pay attention to, put more emphasis on, just for that time, on what is happening right here internally. And I'm inviting you all to do the same. So presence includes managing personal reactions, like I said, emotional regulation. It includes staying grounded in ambiguity. Can you stay grounded in ambiguity? Can you stay grounded in the unknown? Or will you go reach in your toolbox for all those tools and those perfect questions? Or will you reach in your toolbox to tell them what to do and grab some suggestions and some advice? Presence includes allowing silence without rushing. Allowing silence without rushing. And as a mentor coach, I have the wonderful opportunity to support a lot of coaches around just playing in that space, the space called you know nothing. You know nothing until this other soul, this other being reveals it to you. Are you all willing to play that too? Awesome. And I got to wrap up now. So if you are interested in learning more about this wonderful thing that puts this big smile on my face called coaching, if people that you work with, people that you love, if they're interested in learning more about this wonderful work that we love so much called coaching, tomorrow I am holding an information session where I'm going to offer just a little glimpse into coaching, what coaching is, what coaching is not. We're going to offer at least one, at least one coaching tool or technique. I would love to see you there. Again, it's tomorrow. Yes. Thank you, Malik, for putting that in the comments. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, I am going to start offering these info sessions around what coaching is, what coaching is not, offering different webinars and workshops every single week. Woo! Yes, that is one of the goals that I declared with my coach. And I'm going to do it. And I'm so grateful for all of you who have said to me, Coach Sophia, please bring them back. Where are your workshops? Where are your information sessions? I need them to come back. So we are bringing them back. And I'm looking forward to seeing you at one of our information sessions, at one of our workshops, our webinars. I'm interested in seeing you at all of them, actually. Okay. And with that, so you can certainly click on that link to register. And of course, you can always find me and us and my wonderful colleagues at ICLIRising.com. Ciao for now. I get to go have lunch. I get to go be in the unknown.